Okay, we're live. Okay, so where have I been? What happened to my New Year's resolution? To dream more. Well, funny thing that actually another sort of New Year's resolution that I had was to watch Dragon Ball, and that's kind of been. I subscribe to Funimation now, and I've been doing that. I've been doing Minecraft, expanding upon my Minecraft world. I think what I may end up actually doing with that, rather than making it actual online world, at least for now, like until I have like enough viewers where I can actually have where it would actually kind of make sense to have an actual public server thing going on. I'm probably going to just upload my current version of Pixels Play City to like Mega or Mediafire, well, probably Mediafire and Mega would be the main two places I can think of offhand to upload it to, and then maybe put it up like on. Furthermore, putting it up on like one of those Minecraft world hosting sites or whatever they are. That would be kind of cool, and it's just an interesting way to do this also without necessarily having to worry about like people like wrecking things, because like, hey, you can do whatever you want in the archived iterations of Pixels Play City, So I think that's the route I'm going to take, at least for now. When it's going to happen, I'm not quite sure, but I'm up to a point where like I want to do a tour. I actually had a tour pre-recorded many months ago. I can't remember how long, and I started running out of space on my hard drive, and I was like, okay, like I have 2 terabytes, and it's been less than a year since I got this PC, and like on a certain level, it speaks to just how much shit I put on my computer, but also I ended up realizing, like, I was just browsing through my folders, and I think for some reason I went to my Pixels Plays folder where I have like Pixels Play related recordings, and there was a recording that I made through Fraps of my original tour that I'd done, and it was like almost 200 gigabytes. Like, yeah, Fraps. Like, you need a shit ton of if you're gonna capture your gameplay through Fraps, you need a shit ton of external hard drives, because like I think the tour was like an hour and a half or so long, maybe. Like an hour and a half to like 2 hours, I think, and it's like nearly 100 gigabytes per hour of footage. Fraps doesn't do compression. It's a strength. It's definitely a weakness. I'm probably going to capture through OBS. Even if I'm not, if all I'm doing is pre-recorded, I'm probably going to do it through OBS, because it just, it's freeware, and also it, it has compression. But anyway, I could be doing a Minecraft style background the way I have in the title card, but I am really anxious to get this done. Also, to break out of my not streaming thing that I'm in. So yeah. Also, kind of a heads up that I probably won't be streaming anything on Thursday, because I'm working 5 to 10 in the evening, and that's something I'm not, like, I'm already getting used to closing, and then having a 5-hour day on not the day that I've normally been closing, and longer than I'm kind of used to, a little bit longer than I'm used to working. Usually it's like 3 or 4 hours, like 2 to 4 hours usually. They have me scheduled to work on any given day, and so getting like 5 hours, at least not 6 hours, because that's like usually like the max. And it's not that I'm complaining about having a long work day, except in the sense that I kind of am. But like I know that I am kind of spoiled in terms of like how little I had to work in a given day. Like I'm fully aware that there are people who work longer and more and harder and all of that, but it's just I blame it partly at least partly on my having Asperger's syndrome, because like it's I'm a creature of habit. One of the aspects of it is routine. My routine with regard to work, the way they schedule me is often sporadic. Like what makes it worse is that there are periods of time where it is a little more consistent, and then suddenly they throw a wrench into that, like this, like 5 hours in the evening, closing. I worked there 10 years, and only just now they've started actually scheduling me to work until closing, or past closing, basically, like, So, yeah, it's been, tricky to get used to, and also the fact that, like, I've been streaming, when I do stream, I stream in the evenings, and, that's kind of out for Thursday, because I also had to work, I think from 10 to 1 on Friday, so yeah, I can't even stream like super late. I had to stream during the day, and I don't like doing that because, I don't like to like risk the idea that like I'll get caught up in something and then suddenly I had to start getting ready for work. I might do something like I'm streaming early today, just because I want to. I've gotten my Minecraft last touches on some of the Minecraft stuff done, and I just want to get on with it. There's like one more thing I might want to add, but yeah, like enough already. Anyway, some apologies that my camera's a little there's a lot of headroom here. I'm too lazy to fix that, so let's just roll our intro and if I can find it. There it is. So, okay, did I wait for the full screen to comp? Okay. So here's our map of at least the southern portion of Pixels Play City. There's actually a whole other area, although there's not much there. Actually, there's not much here yet. There's a lot of stuff people can like place room for people to like build their own things. Either once it's become a public server, or we will kind of have this as a sort of open source type of I don't know, some kind of a system where people can like submit a creation, and add their own things to the map, and it can potentially become part of the official Pixels Play City. Like this could be like a open source map, I guess, in a way, like like an online game without actually being online. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff to show. Hopefully I'll get through all of it and not forget anything. There's lots of hedge mazes. There's at least like 4, I guess. It's basically just a hedge maze that I did to kind of fill out my backyard. And then I wanted to make a circular hedge maze, and then I wanted to actually like recreate a hedge maze from something famous. I won't spoil that, but they have the super elaborate hedge maze down here. So let's just go. I might do like an edited version of this later, or at least like maybe create like segments showing off each individual thing. This is the town hall, but it's not really finished. Actually, it's not finished at all. Like you can see here that like the whole I don't know which wing of this would it be. The south wing, maybe? And the south wing of the town hall is completely unfinished. And as is the upper floor. So that's a work in progress, and that I have gotten around to finishing it. I might have to do that before I actually upload this, because I kind of want to, I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm going to start with my kind of mansion type place. This is, I believe, a original design. I'm pretty sure that I designed this entirely on my own. There's some things that are based on other people's. Like this is like Kiralis design for the sort of race car type of thing, or sports car. I think the actual I believe the garage is basically my design. The spiral staircase is I think I found a tutorial for how to or a spiral staircase, but like kind of a winding staircase type thing. Also, I need to update Optifine. I just remembered that. Have a library here. With an enchantment room. I believe I constructed this all in survival mode. Some things are done in survival, some things in creative, some things in MC Edit, some things just entirely in vanilla creative. I think I've made some notes about what I've done in which modes. I do believe some of the bookshelves I used by finding a stronghold in using creative mode, so to like harvest the library from there. I do believe I would say that I've made the actual like enchanting room out of stuff that I discovered on my own or crafted on my own. This is my bedroom and a lot of storage. Have a this is actually a meant to be public area or public like space This is the public entrance to a farming area. We have our smelting area here, and also alchemical lab, and this is a recent addition to concrete mixer. Because I was making something out of concrete, which is just over here. I have this fountain. I believe the fountain itself is designed by someone, although I think I've tweaked it quite a bit. But the actual top part is my original design. The actual beacon, all the beacons in here were done in creative because screw having to go through the whole wizard thing to get something that I only really like for aesthetic purposes, for aesthetic reasons, and so yeah, we have a semi-secret, not really, entrance to a incredibly long mine shaft, which I will probably it actually stretches up all the way up to the northern section of town. It's let's have sort of a hedge maze design of sorts, which isn't really much of a maze because it's just decorative. I'm not sure why I'm opening that. So this is something I actually created in Survival, although I think I used creative just a little bit because I had a bit of a mishap in another where I died, and then I didn't quite want to lose all my things, but actually I think I ended up got rid of 2 extra piles of these lava blocks, so I'm pretty sure I kind of broke even ultimately. So actually I think I made this a little too big, in terms of scale compared to the Nest statue, which was definitely purely in creative, or not creative, survival. Although when I got to top, I used creative to safely get back down. So if you're an anime fan, you might recognize some of this. This is actually pixel art from the RPG Treasure of the Red Cat Gang, which I might at some point actually stream me playing that. This was done, all the pixel art was done in creative, but by hand, so not with I used SpriteCraft, but I did it by hand for a number of reasons. One being that SpriteCraft hasn't been updated with concrete blocks, so I had to go through and replace a bunch of things anyway, so I might as well just do it all by hand. The logo was it's by far the biggest thing there, and it's from the English ROM hack. So I don't know who created that, the English version of the logo, because I do believe it's the actual text in the original ROM was probably Japanese. So Um, wish I could credit the pixel artist who like put that into the game. I could use the one from Hard Battle, but there's only one 1.5 game, at least here in the States, officially. Anyway, Dojo has become something of a staple of my Minecraft worlds. I've recreated it so many times, and each time I try to do something a little bit different. I created this on Israel mode in PS4, although I don't know if I had it quite this elaborate in the PS4 version. Because I've been really trying to refine the redstone and basically make every room have its own ceiling lights that can be turned on and off. Well, that's a little troublesome. I'll figure out a way to deal with that later. Cause I don't really want that to happening. I don't want poltergeists in this house. The hypothesize room, which I don't know if I've... No, his underwear collection is not currently here. That'll have to be updated. Here's the kitchen. I don't know if I should like really show each of the lights that they work, but I am so proud of having accomplished this. Have a little pond there with a couple squid swimming around in it because yeah, it's just a thing because it's at sea level, so anything I think more than 3 blocks deep at this level allows for squids to spawn in it. Actually, there's a swimming pool that I didn't show off in my house that I originally had at ground level, but then squids were spawning in it, so I'm like, okay, I gotta elevate it. Got sounds room. We have a lamp there. A closet which also has its own light switch, which doesn't work. Damn it. Okay, what? don't know if it's a glitch or a huh. Could be a glitch. No. This is was it this thing? Yep, it's that one. Okay, well, shit. No, why I didn't notice that before. Okay. So that problem's solved. I'll still have to figure out what to do with the poltergeist problem. So this, I believe, goes to, yeah, this outdoor area. I have to assign outdoor lights and hall lights. Don't really have any lights over here. Maybe should, but I think it would interfere with the outdoor lights. Possibly. There's probably a way I could rig it so it doesn't. The entry area into as a I believe the lights here are not together. Have actual bath here. They may have changed this to concrete recently. I'm pretty sure I did. Also, I think about how to use because I have it like you know, stilted, which is a little unfortunate because of the way that Minecraft apparently treats at least stair blocks. Like basically it's whole blocks, so those block out the light, and there's no grass growing underneath them. But you can see that like the actual furrow does not have, or bath area does not have stilts because, well, it does, but it's sort of covering up because I can't do half slabs in there. So this is the actual dojo. Which has one of the more... It took me a while to actually figure out how to properly rig up all these lights without any creating any issues, and eventually I got it to work. I can't really even show you what I did because it's just that elaborate. You can kind of see part of it there through the window. This is just storage, but also it's rigged up lighting. So there's a second floor. You can see that I have like I think 2 blocks in the ceiling just to account for all of the redstone. This is where Rama and his father are living. And I have like a futon, which I don't know if I could probably use colored beds. I don't know what color their futon's supposed to be. No one else has watched anime. It's on Hulu, so I could do gray, possibly, or light gray. Let's just do that for now. The hallway lights. Got Kasumi's room. Got a little mirror situated there. Yuki's room. I mean, actually, like in the pictures, there is like a mirror. Like on her side too, it's like more or less adjacent to Kasumi's room, so it just kind of, yeah, there's another area where we got poltergeist issues. I'm afraid it may be unavoidable because Kai's room, which I believe has a picture of a duck on the door, so because I can't do that there, I put some ASCII art on the side. I think at one point I actually had a pig. I might be in the PS4 world where the pig that I used the name tag to call Pichan. So that's actually, well, at night we should go to the nightclub. Club Pix. Actually, might be morning already. Yeah, I guess I had some place to the controller. So I think that's morning already. I believe the actual credits. Bring it to first area where I need to actually have credits to credit people. The main design was by JWWT4 on YouTube. Built by me, creative. Rest of the wiring was done by me. The Pixel logo and Pixel mascot was built by me. The downstairs bathrooms are based on Corrales' nightclub build. Of a few creative liberties made on my part. Got these squid tanks. I ended up using a regular glass because you can see the actual like shading effects through that, whereas regular colored glass overrides the water shaders. So let's go ahead and make it night. So these lights are actually my design. One of the cool redstone things that I've actually come up on my own. I believe I can, maybe a bit later I can go and show the some of the underlying redstone. I might do a tutorial eventually. No, feel free to just replicate it because it is somewhat simple. And the redstone gets a little glitchy further away. Maybe a level of detail type thing. Actually, I believe even the redstone for the dance floor was kind of, I think it's based off of some other designs I've seen, but I think how I implemented it was actually so here's the redstone maintenance. Mainly for if you want to turn on or off some of the redstone. Although the dance floor really you can't exactly turn off because it just is a random assortment of lights that are on and off when you turn it off. So if I have labeled these. These are the chase relays underneath the stage. And then there's the side lights, which I also use in another place. This is like relatively simple to. If you look at it, like it's not really that tricky to just like look at and replicate. I think you can kind of scale it to be a little taller than this. Well, I can't remember if I managed to do that or not. Yeah, we can turn the whole thing off with one switch, at least per side. No, easier to see how it works on the stadium. Okay, like I'm only running OBS Studio in this, but apparently it's causing enough of a frame rate issue that I can't fly easily. And I have these recreations of the Mario and Link amiibos, 8-bit amiibos. I have a Chrono Trigger build here. I did a video showcasing this a ways back that I've elaborated upon a little bit for when I made the actual effect of Auron Lavos sort of recreated that with glass. Although obviously it would look a lot better. Looks a lot better with the shader. Without the shader, it just looks like a bunch of random colored glass. If I believe some concrete underneath it. Inside we have I believe a crude recreation of Next Stage. Again, there we go. I'm actually like really proud of how like Lavos itself turned out. And you kind of see they have a bit of like a reflection, I think, thing going on up to a point. This is a skyscraper here, although this is also a design I put together myself. It's like pretty neat. There's really nothing going on in the interior. I just like wanted to have a skyscraper which I believe goes all the way up to like the top of the limit of the world. Or the height limit. I believe I used MC Edit a little bit here. I'll probably, if I upload this someplace that people can elaborate upon, like what's actually inside the skyscraper. This is based on an Axia nerve design. I'm probably I'll do a whole separate thing where I go into the interior. Man, the frame rate is really not doing too well. Got a pretty powerful machine, but like this is Java, Minecraft, and the live streaming software is and some of the things that I've kind of added myself are the like the reflecting pools. I did some of my own stuff, additions to it, so, and like the whole path around it. This is a barn made by Nick, or N111CK. have a bit of a subway system which is not entirely complete here, but it is like there are like tunnels underneath every road. There's another barn here, which is less functional. A medieval barn and stables in creative mode. I don't think there's any animals in there yet. This is a castle created by Keralis, the schematic that I copied and pasted here by Adelaide. I believe this functions. Yeah, this is, yeah, like the redstone does kind of interfere with the actual like design of these towers. I might see if I can find work out a way to make this. I wonder if there really would be a way to have this actually. I integrate some kind of spiral staircase type thing here. Here I just put a ladder in, so I could probably maybe do some work out something like that. Anyway. There's another stables type area here. Again, no animals at present. Kind of the blacksmith floor somewhere around here. There you go. I'm sure I'm going to do a complete overview of the interior. It's supposed to be like some sort of sorting thing. I haven't been able to work out exactly how it's supposed to work. Have a docks area here. There's the Truce Tavern, which I believe is just a designed by Corrales. And there's an inn area. There's a loft type area with a bunch of storage. The Medieval Ship by Jared Gaming. I tweaked a little bit. I actually I'm pretty sure this is someone's designed by, I don't know, recall whose it is. And I didn't bother crediting it, so anyway, kind of doing this all in no particular order, just kind of as I'm go ahead and as you're gonna go into subway. I think it's gonna like put like a subway ticket booth or something somewhere. I have this design so it like lights up as you move across it. There's like entrances to mining areas, and I guess caves, basically, which are sort of an alternative purpose, taking all like the, anyway, flatten the world. It uncovers a bunch of like cave systems, so I use these subways to sort of have alternate entrances so I can still have all the stuff on the surface. So this is the bank. I forgot to reset it. So I forget who designed all of these parts. I believe Mumbo Jumbo did the actual like vault door design. This is like another tutorial that I found. This is like a temporary combination. I might change it when I put it on. I guess public server particularly, but there's actually two layers of security. There's the combination, and then there's a keycard thing, which is actually currently open. That currently doesn't work, so I think I have to put my keycard in there to actually close it. And then take the card out. The button does nothing. That's the Sea Hall Vault. So it's nighttime again, so I think I can. This is actually a good time to show off the. Something I've recently just thought about is possibly actually having a control booth, and I might actually potentially use like command blocks to pull it off, just because. Yeah, it would be a lot easier than I'd probably put like a control booth like up here, maybe. Anyway, we have our right now the only way to actually control all this is backstage. So we have the vertical chasers, which are You can see maybe a little bit more how the design works. I'm using a clock, which is down here. If you don't have a redstone clock, there's plenty of tutorials on that. That's the concrete blocks for the road. Alright, there's two different vertical tracers. We have let's see here, I have the ceiling chasers. Then the pyro chasers, which we actually had to make a few revisions to. I think I had to make sure that the signal would get all the way across, but also that the flame would continuously like not go beyond the like basically containing the yeah, I think I have a white glass barrier here. I think I originally had like a another half slab, but then it turns out that the half slab doesn't actually block it. This is another thing that actually looks better with shaders because it creates an actual transparent block, where without shaders it will look a bit quite a bit different. And so you have the vertical chasers going in different directions. So there's another set of lights. I definitely want to look into doing an actual light control room. Probably using command blocks in some capacity. I don't know how. So now we have let's see here. And this is if I want to make the lights not blink. Now I think it's chaser lights. We have a fireworks contraption. I can't remember who made the design for this. Right, at least turn out the fireworks so they're just constantly going off. And to show how the static lights. Look, I just choose to make the lights always on. And do it that way. I can turn on. Like when the band's not like you know, when you're doing like the introduce the band part of the concert, then and the only problem is if you're further away from, and here's like just ticket office and concessions area. And it just has access to the subway. It's called Amplitude Amphitheater. I might actually put the control booth like kind of. I don't know where. Like the level of detail, aspect, means they can't like always see, like it could just be like straight up kind of here ish. I don't know. But it might actually block some audience members' view of what's going on. So I don't know. I can also put out the pyrotechnics. I can also make the ceiling lights I think I this is like the sprinkler system up here. It's not a full other circuit. Maybe I might need to push it twice. Yeah. It just has like a water bucket in there. It would be really cool to be able to actually see the pattern of stuff going off. I need to. Go ahead and turn on my. There we go. That should illuminate our situation here. You see the text there. But here's like my example. Actually, I forgot to set this up. This is kind of a sort of tutorial here. The grid aspect of this can help you to like figure out yourself. If I did a tutorial, I'll probably put it do it in this area. I think this actually is I'd have to go inward and yeah, I think that the trick is that each of these is at a different set to a different delay. So it is like 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks. So actually, yeah, you can't make it more than 4 blocks high. That's the trick here. At least not about expanding it and like having multiple repeaters. It's like let's have a pulse from. I mean, you can make it 8 blocks high, but you had to like do something like this where it sort of just converges in on itself. So there's this one. The reverse one is the top one set at 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks. Well, going actually like back and forth, alternating sides. This is like 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 ticks, 4 ticks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Over there, at the bottom. And this is the example of a redstone clock. I might do an actual proper tutorial if there's any demand for it. I do have an area set up for replicating the device. So here's the epic hedge maze. That center is actually in Portal, but I don't think it's actually active. But so it starts off locked behind a steel door. You had to find your, before getting to the center, you had to find your way to each of these trees. It's actually something of a multiplayer map, or sort of meant to be. There's the switch. And I see that basically this is one of a series of redstone blocks, and it's to signal that people that anyone else in the maze that this particular tree has been cleared, it lights up. Basically what it does is it has a command block that places a redstone block down here somewhere underneath, and once all those redstone blocks are in place, it opens the door. Let's see how it's like all neat and lit up. Using, I think, ocean lights. They're sort of off off to the sides to kind of light up the interior and look all cool. I show what happens when all the towers have been lit, but that's gonna take too long. So, let's just move along here. There's a couple mazes left on this end of town, and actually, if we just kind of everything. I don't think we have any satisfying finale for this. I don't know, I think the thing at the end is pretty epic too. Oh yeah, there's just so much. I think I know what I'll save for the end. So here is the circular hedge base, which actually is my own design. I believe the major maze is based on something I found on I don't think it was designed for Minecraft, but it might have been. But at the middle we have a sort of Stonehenge type setup. Right, so this is the maze from The Shining. Try to actually find our way to the middle. I think the middle design is actually something of an extrapolation. Like a little pond here. Or I guess a fountain sort of thing, but Add some like benches and lights to the. So this is it at least until we get to our final little bit. I have some tunnels here. I think their tunnels actually appear a few different places. Here's one of the more epic everywhere you go, everywhere you go. This is like really long. I think I did a fair amount of this, at least for this version in MCIT, but originally it was done entirely in Creative by hand in the PS4 version. So this is largely not much going out on the north side, but I do have a bit of a little glass dome. And you see that there's no also have named all the streets. Yeah, I have like numbered streets, I think, for some of it. Here's a glass dome, which you can barely see. You can also kind of see what I'm talking about with regard to the way it renders. It won't render water and transparent glass at the same time. Cause that's a little pond there at the edge. I don't know. I can't layer the two effects together apparently. We'll go back to our Golden Gate Bridge and actually look at overhead. So let's see here. I kind of want to show off the opposite end of my mine shaft. I actually have a series of rails that go all the way. I have 3 sections of rail that go all the way across from here to the area just underneath my mansion, or that fountain I showed earlier. I'll start by showing what it looks like at night. And you can't really see the whole thing just due to draw distance issues. But this is just a simple a clock with a bunch of redstone torches that are sort of carrying the signal up. I believe it's all concrete blocks. I'm gonna find my concrete blocks because I kind of want to show your interior here. You see another example of a redstone clock. They had to send the signal all the way up to the top here. We have little supports underneath there. These are all poles are all nether vents. This is obviously built in creative mode, and I think need just a little bit of help from MC in it. But yeah, like there is no way I would have had the patience to put this all together in survival. Yeah, I know, like this. Normally, like the lines in the middle of the street are supposed to be white, and like the line in the middle is supposed to be a yellow. But hey, in Pencil's Play City, everything is backwards, so. So, last but not least, we have New Sheaf Castle from the Shivering Isles expansion for the Elder Scrolls 4. This one I think I actually imported it in from a schematic, but I added to it substantially. And we got Bayou Billy Boulevard. I believe it's just off the map that is in the City Hall, so I added a map here. It's from Plant Minecraft. This map with my kernel 11. It was altered and expanded upon by me. I think the original buildings are all like diamond, which is not what they look like in game. They're more like metallic, so I made them iron, and I made these into glass blocks with glowstone underneath. Most of what I added is actually in the interior, which is more fleshed out than a Murdercone's. I believe the main hall is essentially the same, but okay. What was that sound effect came from? Kind of spooky. This is a greatly simplified version of the area underneath. I think I could bother going down there. I think it's raining. Yep, it is. I think only this side's actually fleshed out in terms of disconnecting hallway, which isn't really in the game, but kind of needs to be here. I gotta change these from, there's another detail that I've we'll look at these from below. Yeah, there's like the stained glass is all my addition. And the actual like quarters are all by me. I think his version, or Motocone's version, was just all like just the throne rooms basically, and that underneath area. So I had like different quarters and courtyards behind it. Really happy how this all turned out. It just quite a bit of work trying to just like recreate it somewhat meticulously what was in the game. Can't remember what this is supposed to be. I think it's like a painting canvas, I think is what it was. Or something like that. This is nerfing on the side, on the Mania side. I shouldn't have rendered this at 1080p. It's pretty like haunting at night. Woo! Maybe it gets on the first level. Maybe? The first level's all the way down here. You have some of the secret passages and areas. This is a green moat silo. it's really tricky, like doing like all the landscape stuff around it because of, covering up the extensions to the structure with all the different rooms. Um, I'm just going to go directly into the Dementia side here, since the hallway connecting it to the main throne room is unfinished. So there is some prison cells and a torture chamber type of area here. Each cell is like pretty much identical. And there's a bedroom here. Another little courtyard area. It's sort of copied some of the things from outside. Into here. I want to show more what it looks like higher up. And there we go. Yeah, this is like the extension of like the rest of the design, because like this does not exist in the guy who originally created this did not have like the courtyards and such coming out, so I had to extrapolate what that would look like. I think even the in-game version of this does not like actually have the courtyards like in the game world. But again, it is a Daedric, realm where the laws of everything are like space aren't necessarily being strictly adhered to. But in Minecraft, you kind of have to, everything kind of has to be here. So here's another bedroom area. And to wrap things up, we got another secret area, basically the same design. what's underneath it is much more elaborate. And there's a possibility I'll actually expand upon it even further, still in some point in the future, but this is a Zyrifard. I believe it's a dungeon you go through for the Dementia. If you want to become the ruler of Dementia, you have to go through here. I recreated like the entire first area of it, along with all the traps and such that are there. Those traps don't always work properly. There we go. There you go. Ah, I'm on fire! My biscuits are burning! I have a potion of healing here. You have a door here that will unlock it. I should hit this switch here. And there's another potion chest there. This statue isn't actually trapped, although I think it's designed to kind of look like it is. And there's a scripted event where some doors open. If you could really see that. Actually, I didn't. There's, you can see the passage that leads the redstone. This is a I forget what it was called, but it basically gives it like an on state and an off state. There you go. So there you go. I think I add these. I think just exist to make it look a little more symmetrical. And you can actually close it on the other side. You have another potion chest right here. I figured just a straight shot to the end of this section of the dungeon. It's a dead end for now. I think a lot of what I did was like looking at the game in the construction set and trying my best to replicate the design. These traps are kind of we had disabled fire spread, so it also means that the fires, whatever fires are set up right now, just continue perpetually. I believe there is a hall. Down here, there's a trap and another chest. A couple potions. So I think that's everything. Only took me just over 2 hours to get through all of it. So if I upload this, or whenever I upload this, I will probably put a link in the description. Let's go back to where we started. Here's the good look at the Town Square Fountain. We also have some teleportation things to Ice Spike biome and I believe a jungle biome. Yeah. I should have, because and there's an ice rink. I think it kind of skimmed over. That's pretty cool. It's just so crazy how much stuff I've put in here. So anyway, I need to change my desktop wallpaper. So thanks for watching. You can follow us on Twitter, support us on Patreon if you like. I will possibly be streaming. Well, I'll try to stream something tomorrow at least, and possibly later this evening. I want to try to get back into Persona 3 Fest, so that's probably what I'll end up doing. If I don't get caught up in Dragon Ball, or I'm probably watching some Miyazaki films, because they have a complete set of at least the ones he directed, and also today I got The Cat Returns, and which is, I believe, written by him. And then I got, as a fan of the Spoony one, and because it's also like, I think like $7-8, Your Hunter from the Future. With a commentary track by Red Brown. So that's gonna be interesting to watch in high definition. So anyway, thanks for watching. I already went for the whole spiel about Patreon and everything. So let's just say LCS and DFTVI will see you next time. Until then, sayonara.